everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am coming to you with another tool tip for this week, and this tool tip is something that I wanted to share because it actually came up during our Friday night crop-in last Friday. We were chatting and someone was showing their page and the subject of peekaboo pockets came up. And it was within that conversation that I realized several people weren't really sure what they were or even how to use them or where they would even make sense to put them on their layouts. So today I wanted to walk through how I actually use peekaboo pockets in real life, not in a perfect sample, but on my real pages, and to give you examples from my albums, and then basically how I'm planning to use them on my food tour layout that I just posted, and actually do it with you so you can see how it works. So if you've ever had a peekaboo pocket sitting in your stash or more pictures than you want to put on your page and you just feel unsure about them, hopefully this video will help you just so that they feel a little less intimidating for you. So back when I first came back to scrapbooking, so in 2020, I guess, I was doing a 52 hike challenge. Basically, in order to get my husband and I out of the house, we would go and we would do a hike once a week. And I decided as one of my first albums to do that I would do a 52-week hiking challenge. So the challenge became that 52 pages is a lot. And as you can see, my books are pretty full. I keep them pretty full, but it's not overly stuffed like my last one you all saw that I had to break down. But this has every week 52 hikes, but I could only do one page for each hike. But oftentimes I had a lot more pictures than one page, and that is where peekaboo pockets really come in handy. So all throughout my book, I have peekaboo pockets. So I wanted to show you some examples. So this page was hike number 4. I have 3 main photos on it, but then I put peekaboo pockets so that you have more pockets behind it. These are 4x6s. I have them mounted on the side. I have more pictures, but I also was able to hide my journaling, the journaling that says how long the hike was, where we went, what we thought, and all of that. So these 2 pockets, one I put opening to the right, one I put openings to the left, but I also put one up here that opens to the top horizontally. So peekaboo pockets are very flexible and you can make them work however is going to work best on your page. So this was a great example because I used it in 3 different directions. These are 4x6s. So here is another example. So once you start doing your peekaboo pockets, here I put a picture with a little bit of journaling on the side. Again, I didn't want the journaling to take over my pages. So a lot of times I use the peekaboo pockets to hide the journaling. One of the other things that you can do with peekaboo pockets is you can stack them. And what I mean by that, and what you will hear often, is people will talk about cascading peekaboo pockets. What that means is that you are laying them one after another, so it kind of has a cascade rippling effect. So in this case, I did 4x6s. So I had 1, 2, 3 peekaboo pockets. So it just cascades from left to right. So what you do is you put the first one on, then you put the second one on, and then you put the third one on. It's really simple to do, but that's what you'll hear often referred to as a cascading peekaboo pocket. It's often also called a waterfall peekaboo pocket. So if you hear those terms, cascading or waterfall, this is what they're talking about, where you have layered peekaboo pockets all going the same direction, so it's like a waterfall. Okay, so those were 4x6s, but we have them in all kinds of different sizes. So here is a 6x12. So I have this whole entire sheet. This was hike number 22. But I had a lot more I wanted to put on there. So I basically created a whole nother page, right? Because this is half a page and this is half a page. So I was able to hide our silly pictures under here so that when you look at the album at first, it just looks like a nice album. When you flip it, you see us being silly. And it also has all of my journaling. Again, it's hidden away, so it's not taking from the aesthetic of my page. So this is a 6x12 peekaboo pocket. So you've seen the 4x6 and you've seen the 6x12. Here are some more examples. So in my first page, let me go back to that for just a minute. I had my peekaboo pockets running vertically, right? So the length was vertically. But you can also put your peekaboo pockets horizontally and still open to the side horizontally. So it just gives you so much, I hope you guys are being able to see this. It gives you so much flexibility on how you want to put them. Again, I've used it to hide my journaling on these pages. And I have so many examples in this book, you guys. Okay, so this page, again, I have another cascading waterfall with a lot of, this was just, my husband everywhere we go has to read every single thing. So I was just being silly and I took pictures of him reading every single thing along our trail and then writing the story about that was. But I also wanted to show you that it comes in a 4x4. So this is a 4x4 peekaboo side. So now you've seen 4x6s, you've seen 4x4s, and then back here, you saw, oh, I forgot this page. You saw a 6x12. So in this one, I did double 6x12s. Again, what it does is it allows me to design the first page how I want it and then tuck more pictures underneath. So instead of only having 3 photos for this hike, I now have 3, 6, 8 photos of this hike, which I love that. This one has even more. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 photos on this one with lots of journaling and still some places for embellishing. Hopefully you guys can see. All right, let me see. I think I had one more example in here. No, I showed you that example. See, I mean, I use them all over. Pretty much every page on here has peekaboos. So for as much as I used peekaboo pockets, pretty much almost every page, not quite, but pretty close to every page has peekaboo pockets on it in this album. So for using it as often as I did, there really wasn't, it's not super thick. So that's great. All right, so then I have another example. This one I'm getting much more creative on. This is my son's and his girlfriend's travel album. And so I wanted to show you a few other sizes. So you saw the 4x6 size. These ones are 3x4s. And then this is their album, so I've just left a spot for them to journal because this is their story, not my story. But it still allows me to have more pictures of what they have sent me. Here is a 3x3. Again, it's got the hidden journaling for them to be able to use it. So we have 4x6s, 4x4s, 3x3s, 3x4s, and 6x12s. And then I'm trying to get, so I showed you the cascading pages. I think it's on this page. Let me see. Yes. All right. So this is another one that's a cascading page. And in this one, I have a whole tutorial out on YouTube on how to create this cascading page, but it uses 6x12s. So I took one photo, I cut it up. You can see where it just has one section and then it flips through to give me a whole bunch of pages. Very fun. But why I pulled this out is I wanted to show you, you can do other things. Like in this case, I flipped up and I flipped down, which is very fun. And then another one where I flipped up and I flip down. But what's fun on this one is I flipped, can you see? I flip down, but then I have one inside that flips up. So again, it makes your pages more interactive. It allows you to have more photos on it. I mean, they sent me something like 59 photos, so I was trying to get as many photos on a page as I could. So that was what I wanted to show you. So you can do up and down, you can go side to side, or in this case, you can get fancy. You can go down and then up. So they're just fun ways to do interactive pages. All right, so I know you all saw, well, hopefully you saw my latest video. Let me move all these off the way. Which was my food tour. Sorry, my dog's barking and making me crazy. Layout. And what I took pictures of was I took pictures of James and Olivia. Hang on one second. I'm going to yell at my dog. Toby! Come! Lay down. Good boy. So, I'm back to this. Sorry about that. He always does this when I try and video. Okay. I printed, for each of our stops, I printed a picture of the restaurant. I did a picture of the food, and I did a picture of James and Olivia. But I wanted to reflect that at each of the sites, even though on my cover, I wanted to have all the different ones. So I decided I was going to put them all in peekaboo pockets on my page so that when they flip up, you will have all of the things that I wanted reflected. So this is what it'll look like. Okay, so in this case, these are 3x4 peekaboo pockets. I want my orientation to be vertical, and I want my pictures to flip up like this. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your peekaboo pocket, and you're going to need to slide your photos in. But before you even do that, you have to figure out how is this going to flip so that you make sure you adhere your pictures the correct way. So in my case, I'm flipping up. That means this picture needs to be this way, but this one needs to go this way. So when you do your orientation, make sure you flip this, because obviously if my orientation went this way, my picture would be upside down. So that's the first thing you need to do, is make sure you have the orientation correct in how you're going to flip it. If I was going to flip it this way, everything would be backwards and sideways. So then there's a little slit at the top, and you're going to slide your peekaboo pocket inside the protector. Okay, now this is an old page protector, and on here, which is going to be very difficult for you to see, there is a very clear strip, and that is what you peel off. That is what you try to peel off. I don't know if you can see it, but that peels off. Hopefully you can see. And this is sticky. That sticky part is what you're going to adhere to your page that keeps the peekaboo on it. Now, the reason I know this is old is because it's clear. So Creative Memories, if you are just buying them for the first time, look, I'm still using old peekaboo pockets, so I haven't even opened them. But the new ones, they have made it so easy for you because now there's a white strip on it. And all you have to do is peel off this white strip. So brilliant. I love that they've made that change. It makes it so much easier for everybody. So that's what you're going to look for. You're going to look for that white strip. You're going to peel it off. You will see that this is sticky. That sticky part is what you're going to want to put on your page. And how it works is you fold this little flap, folds over, and then you position it, and that's where you stick it on your page, and then it'll flip up. All right, so we're going to do this together with my page right here. The very first thing that I would recommend you do, now some people will adhere it directly on their page, and then they'll try and cut a thin line and have it come out. Don't do that. I mean, you can if you want. It's just a lot. It's just hard. It's a lot of trouble because you need to get your X-Acto knife out. You have to be able to cut it perfectly and then feed the peekaboo pocket in. They were meant and designed to do it this way. You need your page protector. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your page in your page protector. All right, so now we're all set. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Peekaboo Pocket. I am going to peel off the strip on the back, and they stick like crazy, so I usually just stick it to my body to get it out of the way for a minute. You're going to fold that flap over, and then you are going to position this exactly perfectly over the photo that you're wanting to cover. And then you just stick it down. Oops, I didn't get it right. It's a little too high, so I can pick it up really quickly and do it again. Then once you do it, you're going to want to push hard down here, and I actually have a bone folder somewhere around here. Well, I used to have a bone folder around here somewhere. I don't have it right now. I'm not sure where it is, but I usually just take something and brandish that down once I have it. And now my Peekaboo Pocket flips up. I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. I'm going to look for that strip, peel it off, stick it to me, line it up, try not to get my head in the way of the camera, and then I'm going to press really hard. Now, if you look super close, you can see this, which is why some people actually put it behind, but it's not that noticeable. And when people are looking through, they're looking through at your photos. They're not looking at that, and you can't see it very well. So I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to do this with every one of my peekaboos. The hardest part is getting this little strip off, and if you are just buying your Peekaboo Pockets, I'm telling you, that little white strip is a game changer. These pictures tell a story, and I am going to do that on here. I just haven't added it yet. It's going on my other page. And the last one. All right. So now all my peekaboos are on the page. They don't come off. They're all stuck there. And my page is ready to go in my album. Ready to flip over. You guys can see I use junk pages on the back. Everything's archival. So that will be my page in my album. Okay, you guys, hopefully this gives you a clearer picture of how Peekaboo Pockets can work. And hopefully you have a little bit of confidence on how to use them on your own pages. Again, I use them to be able to put more pictures on my page. I use them to help keep the aesthetic of my page so that if I find a really fun design that I absolutely love, I can use them and it doesn't detract from the design that I'm trying to use. This is probably a better example. I didn't have a lot more on here. I really just had a journaling block, so I could have put journaling here. I could have maybe done some journaling somewhere here, but I really loved this layout so much that I just didn't want it to detract from my layout. So that's why I added the Peekaboo Pocket to be able to hide that journaling. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Their job basically is just to hold a part of the story that doesn't quite fit onto your page and onto your design. I have created a Peekaboo cheat sheet, and I will attach it below along with this video in the comments if you'd just like to have it and keep it handy. And other than that, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you use your Peekaboo Pockets. If anybody has used them in another more creative way, or even just use them on their page, post a picture below so that people can see the different examples and ways that Peekaboo Pockets have been used on your layouts. All right, you guys, thank you so much for spending a little creative time with me today, and have a great rest of the week. Bye.